Hello, it's Colm Gibney again. I'm going to have a look at Rome today. Before I start, I'd like to thank all my subscribers and commenters for their support. It's all been very positive and I appreciate it. I'm going to go through a few things here in Rome that we've learned in previous videos. All very interesting, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's kick off with this site that we may or may not know pretty well. This castle is said to have been established in the 2nd century AD. My thinking on the subject is that it was built on this star, that the star was not built around it. That is becoming pretty self-evident. So likewise with his big neighbour up the road, St. Peter's Basilica, and all around here was established at around the same time. So a lot of people are talking about the fact that the Vatican is built on a star fort. Well, it is something to get excited about, and in a way it's not, because it turns out that pretty much every town and city around the world, they are all looking like they're built on star forts. So let's just have a throw it a light on it here. Now, a lot of people think that this is the star fort that the Vatican was built on. It's actually only part of the star fort that Rome was built on. I'll just show you what Rome looked like in the Middle Ages. So there we have the Vatican. We can see that the star 40 bits are there. I love how they make that look like something small and insignificant. Look at the difference. Quite blatant. Okay, so I said there was more to it. Yes, indeed there was. It ran down here and around the corner and down to the river here. So we just have a look at this bit I was able to trace. You can quite clearly see it. Always worth taking a pop into Street View if you're in doubt about a place. Sometimes something that looks like a big, huge wall might only be somebody's garden fence. The aerial photography can be a bit deceptive at times, but yes, here we are looking at typical sloping walls with a rounded, what's that called, a corniche, and that gives us a good verification. It ran around here, up again. I was having trouble finding it, so I just had a look, and there's the wall. Needless to say, these things get changed, demolished, built upon, annihilated over time, so they might not be their former glorious selves. Okay, now there's more to Rome, of course, than meets the eye. I'll just show you that old map again. There was a further wall out here. This apparently was Aurelian's wall that was built in 270 to 275. You can have a look. There's only one part that I've really looked at, although it does reflect in the streets. Yes, you can see a definite collaboration here. This looks like a fairly sharp point, something we're getting familiar with. It ran down here and up here. Okay, I have a feeling this map, which is supposedly dating from the Middle Ages, is based on modern mapping. It all fits pretty well with the current layout. Lots of the old maps were actually quite way off because they really couldn't tell. At least we couldn't really tell when we started making maps. It was very hard to map very large areas accurately. And you see that the river is pretty much spot on. They used to be actually quite awful at mapping rivers in the old days. So that's why I suspect that this map is reproduction. Might also explain why they made that such an insignificant little symbol. So yes, there's always more than meets the eye here. This may or may not be something. It does look a bit like the sort of butterfly shaped satellite forts that we were looking at Antwerp yesterday. However, this becomes more clear. We've got a satellite. Where there's one, there's many. I had questioned that, but I don't think it was here. Yes, I have a feeling may have been here, but who's to say? So, on to the next. There you go. Just pop up the ruler for a second so that we can get an idea of these Roman bastions. We're looking at 300 meters here. Pretty significant. Down here to another. Down here, yet another. So they continue. This one is slightly misplaced in the overall scheme of things. They mightn't have been allowed to build it on the golf course, you see. You can see it's the rest of them are following a fairly even circular pattern. and this one is a little bit askew. Now, as somebody pointed out, golf courses are a great way of covering ancient earthworks. And again, okay, so they run around, all the way around. Skip one, have a look at another. So these are the things we're going to be having to look out for anyone who's interested in looking for star forts, is conforming architecture like that, or like the Pentagon, and like so many places. So there we go. That's the star fort of Rome. It measures about 11 kilometers, I think, from, let's take it from this side to here. That's nearly almost 12. And if we take it from there to there, it's almost 11. To put that into perspective for you, if we find a point approximately in the middle, up, beg your pardon, try that again. I think we could make it a little bit bigger just to... There you go, you're looking at an area of 24,000 acres, or 37.5 square miles, or 97 square kilometers. So yes, it's a big area to be concerned with. All the famous stuff that we know, the Colosseum and all their buddy buildings, are all within this. I'd like to know what you guys think. I think it's fascinating. That's why I grabbed the reins here and started looking closer. There may be more details in or outside here. It will take further examination. So if you've got nothing to do on a rainy evening, I would recommend you spend a bit of time on Google Earth and find these places. And together we might get some of the answers we're looking for. This, just by the way, is a pyramid. Have a little look-see. Ooh, nice old castle. And I suppose it's modern. Do you? Okay, so that's it for today. Well, you do have to zoom out to get it all. Rome, not just the Vatican, was built upon a star fort, and a pretty big one at that. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, get the word around, get people thinking on this, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.